access control has a database vault component, which is a powerful security control for protecting application and sensitive data from privileged users. So Oracle Database Vault prevents privileged users from accessing application data. It restricts ad hoc database changes and enforces control over how, when, where application data can be accessed. Database Vault securely consolidates existing database environment transparently, eliminating the costly and time-consuming application changes. So from a feature point of view, we look at it transparently blocks the DBA from using an application data. It blocks the threats that targets privileged user accounts. It prevents configuration drifts. Any configuration changes directly done by a privileged user can be controlled with the database vault. And it enhances the availability and reliability of application by preventing accidental or unintentional changes to the database. So that way you can think of database vault enforces a control over privileged users who are the custodian of the databases. They can look into any information, they can do any changes, they can take the export dump, or they can do the authorized change, but yet in a controlled fashion. So their database vault can help you to achieve those things using command rules, like the user cannot use alter database or alter table until it is authorized to do so. So the new features introduced with Database Vault is starting with this release, you can see a Database Vault Administrator DVA from a Oracle Enterprise Manager. So Database Vault Administrator account is no longer an independent application. The advantage of this design is that it makes it easier for you to create, view, and modify Database Vault settings from a centralized Enterprise Manager location. As we know, the Database Vault metadata, for example, the packages and the policies and factors resides in DBSys and DBF schemas. These schemas are critical to the integrity of the Oracle database. So starting from this release, the direct logins to these accounts were blocked by default, and you can disable or re-enable this default protection by using two packages, which is DBMS MacAdmin packages, to enable and disable the operations onto these schemas. In the previous release, we have seen the database vault object owners or the users who had privilege for the objects within the realm can access those objects. Even if the users who are not the realm participant or realm owner can access those objects. So to change this functionality in this release, you can optionally restrict these users to access the object by using mandatory realm. So in nutshell, mandatory realm allows only realm participant or realm owner can access the realm protected object. Even you can restrict down to the users who are authorized or the owner of the object. Another enhancement, if you choose to use unified auditing, which we can talk about in later slides. The unified auditing, Oracle Database Vault audit records are stored in a table in Oracle Database, which is OUD schema instead of OUD $table instance schema. So this is the new change in the unified auditing technique. Oracle Database Vault can now audit all the actions performed by Database Vault Administrator. So all configuration changes made by the Database Vault components, such as changes in the realms factors, are now written to an audit trail. This auditing captures the creation, modification, or deletion of the most of the database enforcements, as well as Database Vault authorization components such as Oracle Data Pump and schedulers. Another role new introduced, which is DB audit cleanup role, which which can be granted to any users who is responsible for cleaning up Database Vault and audit trail in Oracle Database Vault environment. In continuation with the Database Vault features, the two rule sets for Oracle Data Pump and Scheduler have been removed, so that will allow the easier seamless operations onto using the Oracle Data Pump and Schedulers. There's an addition of two packages in DBMS MacAdmin, which is authorized DDL. Authorized DDL allows users to execute DDL statements on specific schemas. So you can that will control and authorize privileged users to execute DDLs on the specific schemas. And similarly, there is another package which is authorized proxy users who can grant a proxy user account authentication using DBMS MacAdmin authorized proxy users. You can enable or disable the use of Aura debug utility, particularly in Oracle database. It is used to take internal dump of the trace files. So that way, this enhancement enables you to prevent misuse of the Aura debug feature, such as manipulating or dumping internal structures or enabling or disabling SQL tracing for the users. Another two views have been introduced in DVC's schemas are the configuration audit, which provides information about database vault configuration changes made to database vault, and the enforcement audit allows you to get the information about the activities that affects database vault enforcement policies. So this is all about the database vault and features in 12c. In the same category, we have Oracle label security. So Oracle label security, if you look at traditionally, database control focuses on the roles and